As human beings, we all have this thought and wonder about why we are here and the meaning of life. Even atheists, as well as evolutionists, still search for deeper meaning and meanings within their lives. Allah says in the Quran, "Those who disbelieve are still believers but only to their desires." Today we see many people buying, chasing, counting their cash and desires, trying to figure out what will make them happy. But to no avail, this only makes them fall deeper into the rabbit hole of this lifeless rat race. It is faith in a monotheistic religion that brings true contentment to the heart, a belief in only one true creator. In Carl Jung's essay, The Aims of Psychotherapy, he called this the general neurosis of our times, and as he explains further, the lack of meaning in life is a soul sickness whose full extent and import our age has not yet begun to comprehend. In the late 19th century, the philosopher Friedrich Nietzsche observed that nihilism, or what he termed the radical repudiation of meaning, was on the rise in the West. Nietzsche felt the agony and suffering and the misery of a godless world so intensely at a time when others were yet blind to its tremendous consequence, that he was able to experience in advance as it were the fate of a coming generation. In summary, there are just two options in life: God or nihilism. No matter which ideology you want to place on top of your priority list, it will always lead to nihilism, if you don't have an origin in absolute truth and meaning. Looking at the society in which we live now, it appears we are experiencing the fate that Nietzsche prophesied. In the words of Viktor Frankl, ever more people have the means to live but no meaning to live for, a fate which is manifesting in a hatred of the existing society, the apocalyptic sense of an ending, and the need for some kind of worthy cause to give meaning to one's life. People who report being happy but have little or no sense of meaning in their lives have the same gene expression patterns as people who are enduring chronic adversity, such as loneliness or poverty. How can a life that has little meaning even coexist with meaning itself? Some may attempt to find a life purpose, like getting into a relationship or confronting challenges, but the most effective is to enter the wisdom within the mythos of religion. Carl Jung asks, what is the use of a religion without a mythos, since religion means, if anything at all, precisely that function which links us back to the eternal myth? Mythology contains truths about the human dilemma being expressed in narrative form. These narratives can be used to influence how we see the world and how we should act in certain situations. They provide insights into how to cope with human conditions such as sickness, old age, suffering, and death. Sadly, the stupidity of modernity has placed myth into the realm of fiction, believing that only reason, logic, and science can reveal the truths of the world. But as Jung writes, myth is not fiction. It consists of facts that are continually repeated and can be observed over and over again. You see, science teaches us how we feel pain, but mythos teaches us how to endure pain. Science teaches us how to cure sickness. Mythos teaches us how to cope with loss and death. This is something that atheists do not want to understand. They want scientific proof for the existence of God. They are not willing to accept the philosophical, theological methods in order to find truth. Karen Armstrong states, reason is the pragmatic mode of thought that enables people to function effectively in the world. People have always needed reason to make an efficient weapon, organize their societies, or plan an expedition. Reason is continually on the lookout for new ways of controlling the environment and is essential to the survival of our species. But reason has its limitations. Good at manipulating the world and making us powerful, it does not contribute to any broader understanding of the meaning of our lives. For that, people turn to mythos. Religion is the ultimate source of this wisdom. Carl Jung writes, not only Christianity, with its symbols of salvation, but all religions, including the primitive with their magical rituals, are forms of psychotherapy which treat and heal the suffering of the soul and the suffering of the body caused by the soul. In a speech given to a group of psychotherapists in the 1930s, Jung further explains, it is not a play on words when I call religion a psychotherapeutic system. It is the most elaborate system, and there's a great practical truth behind it. Today, many people view religion as unopen-mindedness, and this just pisses me off because a great number of scientific advancements came from the Islamic Golden Age. In a lecture delivered to Yale University in 1937, Jung went as far as to call atheism the urban neurosis. In his decades of practice, treating hundreds of patients, Jung came to the conclusion that for some patients the only way of fixing what ailed them was religion.